A lot of you have been congratulating me for being pregnant because of the fake news that was circulating. So I'm here to tell you that you are watching my podcast, Case Drama. Okay, so there's like an intro. Sorry, she might think I'm crazy. So I have been stopped on the street and congratulated for being pregnant. And I have to explain, of course, that I'm not pregnant. And this is the third time this news has circulated. So I knew a categorical denial would be useless because you want to believe what you want to believe. And maybe you have a good feeling about congratulating me. And I think it's not about education level. A lot of people have been fooled by this news. So I'm here to tell you once again that the news is fake, i.e. fake news. But how do we stop this kind of problem from happening, from circulating, especially because it doesn't seem like bad news. Like it's not something that destroys my character. So you don't feel like a chismosa or a chismoso person by clicking or congratulating me on the comment section. So what's wrong with it? So I am here now with somebody because sumaklolo po ako. I need some help and I need an expert to guide me through this very strange place that I am in this 2025. So please welcome on Case Drama, we have former BIR Commissioner, Kim Henares. Palakpakan naman dyan. Kim, of course, Attorney Kim.
Yeah.
How should I address you?
Just Kim.
Kim. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
K and K on Case Drama. I'm really, I wouldn't say embarrassed, but I don't know how to feel about asking for help. But I feel I'm in a very strange situation wherein the fake news is not bad news. I didn't do anything bad. People feel like they did not do anything bad because when you congratulate somebody about, having a child, it's not bad per se.
No. Yeah.
So what is it that I can do to stop this from happening a fourth time? Because this is the third time that this has happened to me.
Actually, if you look at our law, you have to prove damages to yourself.
ano bang damage ko?
But if you say it's not naman damaging, that's the problem. No? There are
Correct.
fake news that don't really damage anyone, but they're just not factual.
Yeah. So I guess the damage would be to my mental health. One. Two, my having to explain to everyone. And now nobody believes me. So I saw somebody on the street in Singapore, and as we were waiting for the pedestrian to
Like
be green and to walk, she congratulated me with all the love in the world. So it was hard to say it's not true. And when I explained it wasn't true, she didn't believe me na. So hindi na ako kapanipaniwala. And then I had to say, but I'm telling you right now, right in front of your face. And then she said, napanood ka sa Facebook. So paano na to? I have lost control of my own voice, of my own narrative. Finally now, when I am so comfortable talking, and that's what I've learned with this podcast, Case Drama, that I'm finally comfortable owning my own voice. Now it's being taken away from me.
Well, actually, legally, there's really nothing you can do, right? The only thing you can really do is to say what you're saying now, no? And refuting all this fake news. No?
Yes.
And I think the thing there is maybe to attack the fake news is you could come up with the same format in TikTok, no? And do frame by frame.
Okay, like similar format to get people's attention.
Yeah, then frame by frame, that isn't it when they had that rumor, then a picture of you in 9 months' time, in 12 months' time, in 2 years, showing that you are not pregnant.
That I'm not pregnant. Yeah, but the thing I think with women is that it is not right also for people to ask a woman if you are pregnant. because it is a bit of a touchy subject. So my thing also was when I was asked to deny it for a news segment, I said, but I don't want to normalize people asking women if they are in fact pregnant because that is your own news to break.
Yeah, and I think isn't it good conduct and proper
I
manner
know.
said you should not even be doing that, right?
Yes.
It's same way as asking people what their political belief are unless they
Yes.
want to say it, or
Mm-mm.
religious belief or
Those are the
sexual
things. Yeah,
orientation.
you volunteer that
You're,
in a conversation
yeah,
or you start about
yeah,
by
but you should not
sharing.
ask people. And I think for women, di ba, you don't ask
Mm-mm.
them how old they are.
Yes.
Yeah, it's similar. You
It's
don't.
similar.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think people are aware that you should not ask
Mm-mm.
a person how old they are because they
Mm-mm.
know it might offend. So maybe it's also educating people that you should not be asking these
Asking these things.
questions.
Yeah.
Like it's like asking how old you are. Right?
Okay. Note: do not ask people how old they are. But why is there so much fake news nowadays? So there's different kinds of fake news.
Yeah.
There's the chismis fake news. Is chismis fake news because it's gossip, diba? I mean, is it the same weight?
No. First, I think the difficulty with fake news is there's really no definition.
I see. That's right.
Diba?
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
that's the difficulty of how as far as law is concerned, there's no
Mm-hmm.
definition of what fake news is. The law says that you can file a lawsuit against somebody
Mm-hmm.
if it's false,
Mm-hmm.
if it's not factual, because saying the truth is a defense of the other party.
I see.
It's not libel, it's not slander. So the other party can say, what I said was true.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Then the other requirement is that there should be malice.
Aha. Which is hard to prove
Yeah.
with the gray
Yeah.
areas.
Or you're being reckless. You did not check first before you forwarded the message.
Like fact checking.
Yeah. Because
Aha.
if you look at the cybercrime law,
Mm-hmm.
forwarding a fake news is is part of the crime also.
Even if it's a
Even
direct message, like privately.
yeah, if you have all the element, no, which is
Mm-mm.
it's fraudulent, you cause damage,
Oh my gosh.
and then there's malice or you were reckless about this. It's
Uh-huh.
not the creator of the fake news alone that is criminally liable.
Wow. The
It's the
sharers
yeah
also
are also criminally liable.
criminally liable.
Yeah.
Okay, so
And
yeah, beware.
if you fall under and if you use the computer,
Mm-hmm.
the penalty is much higher than if you use
A
the
cell phone.
newspaper. No, it's
Ah,
a
okay, same,
self.
same.
Yeah, because
Okay,
libel is only 6 months to 6 years. Eh.
I see.
In cybercrime law, it's
Oh,
six
any
years.
gadget.
Yeah,
Okay.
6 years to 12 years.
Oh my gosh.
So
Even
if
if it's
you
a beeper. No, I'm just
there's
joking.
no more beeper.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so that yeah, that technology just heightens the crime because you can spread it so
Faster.
fast.
Yeah.
Like almost like wildfire, I
Yeah.
guess. Yes. Oh, okay. So there's a lot. There's also scams, diba? Because scam is almost connected to fake news.
Yeah. In that cybercrime law itself, if you use computer
Mm-mm.
to commit fraud
Mm-hmm.
or to steal somebody's identity, it's also it falls under that same law. So you're penalized criminally, so 6 years to 12 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the fine is 1 million because in the revised penal code it's not that great, that much.
Wow. Who knew you had so much power in your fingertips, literally, but also you have so much responsibility now.
Yeah, although there's that law, but of course you have to prove it, right?
That's right.
You have to prove malice and
Mm-mm.
all those things.
I see. I see. Well, there's a lot. There's a lot to take in, but I'm just wondering in this day and age, and there are months when chismis is at an all-time high, and sometimes the format of the gossip is similar. Like there is a way that they word it. There's the way that the graphics looks like a certain way. So I'm wondering lang where it comes from. And there are speculations because of the timing. Like it's happening now in 2025. What else is happening? It's election time. So a lot of people do speculate that it may be election related.
It could be in preparation for something. But
Not
the
necessarily the
message
elections.
itself might be innocent, right? It has
Correct.
nothing to do with the
It's not connected.
Yeah, but it could be if it's all the same, it must be coming from one origin. I don't want to say person. It can be a company, right?
Yes. Or a non-company because maybe they're not registered.
Yeah, that's why an entity,
An
which may
entity,
be a
yes.
a natural person or not. No? If it's always the same, it could
Same
be
format.
it can be
or
coming from
style.
one source, no? And it could be they're preparing to do something bigger, not necessarily that fake news in itself.
Yeah, so nothing to do with the fake news, but something to do with the algorithm, what it's doing to your algorithm, or maybe just the way you are consuming media. Because now it makes people so reliant on, for example, their social media sites for credible news that they no longer go to actual news sites.
Yeah, or it could be, okay, I'm trying to attract, isn't it, followers?
Yes.
So with this news, I'm banking all my followers, right? So I'm accumulating it because I want to create a news, or I want to influence all my followers to do certain acts.
Of a certain demographic, the age group,
yeah,
etc.
yeah. So maybe all the, I'm not saying, yung kunyari, lahat artista, yung fake news. It could be, I'm collecting all the people from the class C, D, E to watch this site. And then let's say, if you say it's election related, come election campaign, I will suddenly put in something about vote for somebody. Subliminally.
Okay.
I
But
mean,
it could be that, or it could just be as simple as that person gets so many followers and becomes an entertainment site or a site
they earn money.
that
Diba?
earns money,
Yeah,
yes, through
yeah.
ads. We don't know.
Yes.
But
Or
definitely they have some kind of an agenda. We don't know for now what the agenda is.
yes. And you have to be careful because they're already preparing you and your mind about something which we don't know.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I guess the danger is coming. So it's hard then to say what are we watching out for, because now things are getting sophisticated. And what I like about, because I've been spending a lot of time in Singapore, when I showed the fake news to a friend who lives in Singapore, he mentioned about scams and how in Singapore there are many information campaigns about scams. And I think basically there's even a site or a phone number that you can call to check if something is a scam. So you can fact check with this phone number. And one of the things that I really like about what he said was that in Singapore, they mentioned to you that you are not stupid for being scammed. Anyone can be scammed because that is just the nature of it now. It has gotten so sophisticated. They learn your viewing habits, they have learned your liking habits, your sharing habits, your commenting habits. So they know you at a level that we will not even understand because it's all these computer figures. So yun, I think kasi sa Philippines we always say na-scam ka kasi bobo ka, which is like for me like the end of any conversation. When somebody says that, or because tita ka is another one. Please, let's not hate on titas.
What do you mean by tita ka?
Tita kasi daw yung mga victim ng fake news sa sa Facebook. Nakaka-hurt. Medyo triggered ako. Like, whenever, stop giving titas a bad name. I think when people mention that it's because of who you are that you were scammed or fooled into believing this fake news, then people don't want to talk about it anymore or they don't want to learn about it because we can combat it, I think. Is there a way to combat all this fake news? Is there a way to get prepared to spot it? Things like that?
No, I guess the fake news is anytime the fake news asks you
Mm-hmm.
to give them money,
Uh-huh.
you should already think, why should he be asking me, right? Or
Yeah.
if that,
Sometimes it's a fake relative whose account, for example, has been compromised. That has happened to our family.
yeah,
May
but
ganong,
normally, di ba, when you have a relative, you will get a call from them, right?
correct. But
Not,
now there's also the phishing scams wherein they can use AI can copy your voice and even your video. It can be a video call.
yeah.
So some families have a safe word actually.
Yeah, but normally, siguro, if you really want to help the person, you go and give them the cash in
Directly.
person,
Yeah.
right? Rather than, and you have to, in the Philippines, there's a avenue. Let's say you're the victim of phishing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you deposit it into an account of somebody. You can report it at once to the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas.
I see.
Because
Okay.
when you report it, we have a new law. We call it the AFASA law. It's a shortcut, anti-financial scheme, something like
Mm-hmm.
that. The BSP can within 30 days clamp down on that account.
Wow.
So
So clamp down, it's frozen.
yeah.
Okay.
So when you are, of course, ano yan eh, habulan, di ba? Pero once you get scammed and you report it right away to BSP. BSP has a hotline.
I see.
Yeah,
Okay,
so you
okay.
can, I don't have the hotline now, no,
Yes,
but
we will have it.
so you can report it and they can immediately freeze that account.
Hi, salamat. So it's not the end of the world. Okay.
Yeah, so you, then they can follow, let's say if the money is no longer there, they can also follow where it went.
Mhm.
So there's a way for you to get back your money or trace who's this person.
Uh-huh. Okay, so I definitely did not lose any money, nor did I lose anything like work or anything because of these rumors. So, what could I do for my case? Or does it seem now like it's a nothing case because it's just a lie that is spreading?
As of now, legally, there's really nothing you can
Legally,
do.
there's nothing.
Yeah. So I
Even if
think
they're spreading lies, there's nothing.
because our law require you to prove damages to yourself.
Okay.
So if you can prove that because of this lie you lost a job, then you can.
Well, I almost no, I didn't almost lose a job, but they were asking, "Is it true?"
No, because
of course I would have to do my
Yes,
shoot,
no.
diba? So, but yeah.
But if you are able to prove that because of that rumor you lost something, actual damages, or you suffered a black mark on your reputation, you can
I
ask for
see.
moral damages, then you can file either cybercrime libel
Mm-hmm.
or an ordinary libel suit. But of course, you go with the cyber libel because it's a higher penalty rather than the libel suit.
So even if, say, for example, I am able to trace who these people are that are spreading these sites and this fake news about me, there is basically nothing I can do until I can prove that there is something
Damages.
negative, damages.
Before, you can report to Instagram, to Facebook, to ask them to take down
report an issue, yes.
and take down the site, right? Or block the
I think I've
person.
done that. Like the first round of fake news, I was able to do that with
But
my
now
lawyers.
it's more difficult because when Trump won, at least in the United States, Facebook said they're going to remove all their moderator already.
I see.
So they're going to follow X.
The policies of X.
That there's no more checking of fake news.
So, kumbaga, people have to be more aware and more wary. So, kailangan maging mapagmatsyag.
And I think we should recognize no, that because of social media. It's easy, it's entertaining.
Right. It's entertaining. Yes, we were talking about that. It's because it's feeding off people's like, do you get an endorphin high from all these things that you're sharing? Or what is it that you get from it? And a lot of people just like to make chismis.
Yeah,
And
so
it feels harmless enough when it's not really.
yeah, but it's addicting.
It is addicting.
And then
Yes.
you spend, let's say, without you noticing, you might be spending 8 hours in front of TikTok and Facebook. You're no longer working. So
Yes.
that's
So
the
your
harm
productivity
level
level.
goes down
Yeah.
also. No? And I was kidding my husband.
Mm-hmm.
I said, if you keep on watching TikTok, you'll eventually suffer Alzheimer because you don't use your brain.
You just like mindlessly, endlessly
Endlessly,
scrolling. No,
yeah.
it's what they're doing. You mentioned when we were chatting earlier, you mentioned something about a Ponzi scheme. And I'm not really aware. What did you mean by the Ponzi scheme?
Like for example, di ba, they get you hooked and you
Okay.
like them already.
So
So
like
you trust them.
this site for
Yeah. So you
example.
trust them already. Then eventually it will graduate to invest in I'm selling opportunity for you to invest in, and the
Mhm.
return is if you give me 1,000 peso, you get 20% interest.
Mhm.
Diba? It's a way to hook people to get their money. And a Ponzi scheme is because there's no way somebody can pay you 20% interest
Mhm.
without using the other people's money. So at the end of the day, the one that will be holding the bag is the last investor, because
Mhm.
there's no more investor to use whose money you can use to pay off that investment. No? So that's the Ponzi scheme.
The Ponzi scheme, but this is in relation to like the fake news. So in the beginning, it's just this.
Yeah, because
It's
they
harmless fun of making
yeah,
chismis, and
yeah.
then eventually,
Eventually it might graduate to, because you already trust me. I
yes,
can say, oh, I invested in this and I got this return.
and I'm
Why don't
already
you?
hooked.
Yeah, so why don't all of you can invest here and you
Mm-mm.
can get the same return as mine.
Not necessarily money, but even I guess even just time. No, if you just so hooked on this site, for example, and if the Ponzi scheme is used on you, you don't know where they're gonna take you in the next years.
Yes. And I swear, I also want to tell people, when you keep on watching them, you're making them earn money,
Mm-hmm.
but you're not earning anything.
Correct.
So you have to balance that equation. Buti kung ikaw yung pinapanood. Kung
Mm-hmm.
ikaw yung account mo ang pinapanood, so you're earning, but it's somebody's account. So they're the one earning, and they're earning a lot of money. It's not just a
Gosh.
few thousand pesos, it's 100,000, it goes to 1,000,000.
Yeah, but honestly, I feel like in the past year, I have not felt the internet become so chismoso and chismosa that there would be like news clips from 10 years ago na inuungkat nila yung mga lumang chismis. So, I'm wondering like what's happening with the internet? Like
Because they monetize it.
they monetize it. So a lot of people are getting rich.
Yeah. With
Are they
every
paying
click,
tax for this?
that's what government all over the world is trying
Mm-mm.
to catch,
I
the
see.
taxes of all this digital economy.
Yeah. So pinapayaman natin sila
No,
just by
clicking
clicking.
and viewing.
Mm-mm.
Every view you make makes money for them.
Yeah, but aside from making them rich, how are they affecting our minds? Like, do you think they are that influential that they can, for example, sway an election, make us buy these things?
Yeah, that's if you keep on watching and you are loyalists of that site.
Mm-hmm.
But you
Hooked ka
basically,
na eh.
so whatever he says or she says,
Uh-huh.
you believe,
Yeah.
right? And if he offers you to buy these things,
Mm-mm.
you will think that okay yung thing na yan, so you will buy it.
Yeah. Well, plus the data. The
No,
data
for
on
me, I
you
was saying that the data, the
of
one
each
that
individual.
the one that gets all this data is the platform.
Mm-hmm.
So TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, X, when you click into their platform to go to a site, they already know your data. They collect your data already. No?
Right.
So from that data, they can curate what you should watch. Diba? And diba, sometimes when you, without you opening it, there's a notification that you might want to see this in X.
Yeah, they have already figured out your
Yeah.
preferences.
Yeah. So
If you mention nga, and your phone is somewhere near you, that I want to go to Barbados or something, parang ads will pop up suddenly
yeah,
of
travel
hotels
ad.
there, yeah.
Yeah.
Or flights, yeah. So it's become a different world. Another major thing that I've seen, like in the entertainment world, for example, would be the case of Neri Naig. And I think there's much to be learned from that because it is getting increasingly dangerous to maneuver in this world, diba? Parang of maybe it possibly scams, etc. So we are my mom kept sending me news clippings because she said we have to really watch out for things that we endorse, for example, all the contracts that we are signing. Do you have any insight on that case?
No,
Are we allowed to talk about that case since it's still ongoing?
yeah, we're
Okay.
not naman part of the
Okay,
case.
okay. Sorry. I have zero knowledge.
No, we have to be aware that in the Philippines, when you sell securities, that means you sell shares in the business, you sell bonds, you borrow money. No, if it's already more, if you're offering it to more than 19 people,
19. Okay.
yeah, you have to register the security with the Securities Exchange Commission. If not, there's a criminal liability. So you just make sure when you're endorsing, it's really an advertising contract.
I see.
It should not be you're asking people to invest in your business or invest in a business. Because when you ask people to invest in a business, then you start now counting that 19 people.
I see.
If you exceed that, you're offering a security and it has to be registered with the Securities Exchange
The
Commission.
SEC, yes.
And then the other thing is that's the securities law. Then there's I think with her, it's estafa. No? People invested money and they basically, what they're saying is it disappeared. No, they didn't get it. No? So that's theft, that's estafa, that's their accusation. So it's for the person accused to defend themselves. No? But you have to be careful that the complaint does not involve 5 person or more. Because when it's 5 person or more, it becomes syndicated estafa. And when you file a when you're accused of a syndicated estafa, there's no bail.
Yeah,
You will
non-bailable case.
yeah, so you will be in jail until the case finish. And if you're innocent, then you'll be released. But if you're, so it's tuloy-tuloy.
Yeah, I guess with the rise of all these opportunities and everyone wanting to be a businessman, a businesswoman, the dangers are also going up because you always have to consult a lawyer and make sure not to sign anything until you've read it and really studied it with a lawyer. Because some people, you just want to sign the contract and get it over with, and do the photo shoot or whatever, and secure the contract.
And I think it's not only for actor and actresses, no? Because there are some people who go out and ask for investment. They're not actor and actresses. They go out and ask people to invest in businesses. So if that business is already established and you go out and ask, you should be aware of the rule. If it's more than 19, you have to be registered.
Correct.
Because
yes.
a lot of multi-level marketing
Falls
scheme
under that as well.
you have to make sure that it does not fall under that.
Yes. 19 is the magic number. Okay, be
more
aware.
than 19, yeah.
Yes.
If you're 19, okay pa, but more than that.
Okay. Yeah. So there's, I guess, a lot of people are setting a lot of goals of what they want to do, what they want to be. That's why some are haphazardly just copying their favorite influencers and going into businesses that they know nothing about.
You should not be doing that.
No, parang it's a positive
No.
mindset kind of thing. It's the new year, I want to invest in certain things. So some people, diba, parang jump into it blindly without really studying it.
Yeah, I think the problem with our society because of this social media thing is we're so impatient.
It's like that
We want,
instant gratification.
yeah, we
Yes.
want to get rich today. We
Today,
don't
yeah.
really want to wait. We don't really want to work hard for it. No? So that's when we get into all this trouble.
Yeah. I mean, it's good that you mentioned that, anybody
Yeah.
could get into trouble like this. So you've mentioned a bunch of things. Like coming into the new year 2025, is there anything else that you want to advise people since you're here? And we have a lot of people who want to learn and they're willing to listen and really get into the things that, baka naman pag naghanap pa sila ng ibang source, mali na naman. So at least from your mouth, 'di ba, they will know that it's a credible source. I mean, do you have any more warnings and tips for them?
No, sure, I want to make people aware that we have a new law. Like I said, the acronym is AFASA law, wherein people should not allow their account to be used by somebody else.
Oh, okay.
So, like, for example, sometimes people will come to you and say, I want to buy certain things, I want to pay certain person, but I don't have a bank account.
Okay. So reenactment, pwede ba akong makigamit ng bank account mo para bayaran yung bibilhin ko?
Yeah,
Parang
or yung
nakiusap lang.
ipapadalan ko ng pera, something like
Pwede
that.
ba akong magpera padala gamit na account mo?
Yeah.
Something like that. Which is kind of similar to people asking people who are going home, oy, pasuyo naman. Pakidala to sa Manila. Lagay mo sa maleta mo pero naka-wrap. Huwag mo na i-check. Trust me, parang ganon. Similar in a way that you have to check.
Yeah, you have to check, di ba? Yung padala, di ba? It's your risk there is you're becoming a narcotic mule.
So that for those who
Here,
don't know,
it's
it's just bringing drugs in, kunwari, nakabalot na dried mangoes or something,
yeah,
di ba?
or nasa
Lalagyan ng tabo is something. Because my lolo asked me to bring him tabo before. Because he just missed the tabo from here. So something like that. Things na pinabili, tapos pinadala, hindi mo na check.
Yeah.
Could have drugs.
Yeah.
Something illegal.
Yes, or even if it's not drug, diba, in the States, you cannot bring
Bagoong now, I think, no? Or,
yeah,
or the banana ketchup.
or meat or vegetable, diba?
Yeah, in some countries they never allow even seeds or soil from your shoes, diba? The farming countries are very strict about that.
So there's a criminal offense rin if they catch you there, no? Okay lang sana kung tatapon lang nila. Pero baka you will go to jail, no? So
but since a lot of people are OFWs who may be listening also, let us also remind them, pag may nagpadala, huwag mo na lang sabihin mo, puno na yung bagahe ko.
Tsaka,
ganun na lang.
Yeah. Tsaka, di ba sa airport, tatanungin kayo, ikaw ba nag-impake
Did you pack it yourself? Are you aware of that? And some people just skip that.
Yeah. So, pag sinabi mo yes,
liable ka na.
Kasi pagdating mo dito, hindi mo pwedeng sabihin, hindi naman ako nag-impake niyan. Kasi,
correct. That's
diba?
Your luggage, your responsibility. So, going back to the AFASA.
Yeah. So, if yung pera na yan, kung is fraudulent, diba?
How so? How would it be fraudulent? Like,
let's
say
somebody stole something, that money, diba? And instead of putting it in his account, kasi mahuhuli siya, sasabihin niya, palagay muna sa account mo.
Tinago, nakitago ng stolen money.
So, yun, if you allow your account to hold that, pati ikaw may criminal offense.
Oh my gosh.
Ito yung sinasabi ko rin batas, diba, na may scam. Pwede mo, because of this law, you can call up BSP to report that account.
Okay. So Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas is your friend. It is not the end of the world. You can definitely still find a way to make sumbong.
Can be your friend or can be your enemy. Because if it's your account.
Oo nga.
If it's your account, ikaw yung may pananagutan kung
That's
ikaw
right.
ang skinam, meron kang avenue para habulin.
And it seems harmless, no? Pwede ba ako mag-deposit ng 1 million sa account mo? Sure, who says no to that, diba? Parang, but yeah, definitely you would say no because it already sounds fishy. Smells fishy.
And, di ba, and secondly, di ba, kung ako yung makikideposit,
Bakit?
mamaya nakawin mo.
Oo nga eh. Parang it doesn't make sense. So, yun yung mga red flag na tinatawag. So, at
Yeah.
least, I think last year we talked about red flags sa relationship so much. Ito naman yung red flags sa
O kaya
scams.
sasabihin niya sa'yo, di-deposit ko yung 1 million, bigyan mo ako ng cheque, bigyan mo na lang ako ng 800,000.
May sukli pa.
Hindi, bakit
So,
kung
may ano na, may percentage ka na.
kikita ka ng 200,000, di ba? So, red flag na yan. Bakit mo kailangan gawin yan?
Yeah.
Diba? Saka yung nakikita natin, yung credit card scam, di ba? Pa-swipe. Di ba may mga pa-swipe?
Makikiswipe. Ay, hindi ko alam yung pa-swipe.
Meron mga na paki-swipe. Babayaran, ito yung cheque. Pa-swipe, may bibili na ako. Ito yung cheque, pambayad.
Para magka-points ka?
Hindi.
Kunwari, ganun or something. Yeah. So, no, my friend did that.
Tapos
para magka-points siya. Hindi. Siya pala yung humingi ng points.
tumalbog yung cheque. Diba? So,
pa-swipe.
Diba may ganun scam?
Dami pala. Oh gosh. They come in all forms. So how nga ba do we prepare ourselves for these scams? I think one thing is to talk about it, but nobody wants to say kasi they've been scammed. Because it's so embarrassing, one. And
you don't have to say it to us. You
Yes.
can just go to BSP and report it.
okay.
Diba?
So
Just make sure you're not the conduit for the scam. Because if you're the
hindi
conduit,
ikaw ang pasimuno.
hindi ikaw nakipag-cooperate na maggamit sa scam. Kasi pag pinagamit mo sarili mo para matuloy yung scam na yan, kasama ka dun sa
sangkot ka sa scam. Oh my gosh, yeah. So yeah, there are a lot of things to watch out for. I wonder, have people always been opportunista like this? Have they been always on the lookout for people who are just, I don't know, is it ignorant or oblivious to all these things?
It's just being greedy.
It's being greedy, yeah.
I mean, before, meron nang nangyayaring ganyan, pero hindi ganun ka-prevalent. Because of the social media rin, naging mas marami yung opportunity for all this scam to propagate. And mas mabilis. So, yun yung advantage, disadvantage ng digital platform, ng our digital lifestyle. Everything is so fast.
And convenient.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, that speed and convenience also translate to speed and convenience in committing bad things.
Yeah.
So that's there's a trade-off for all those convenience.
Yeah. This is why I still have a passbook. Yeah, my husband always laughs at me. Ba't ka ba may passbook tsaka checkbook? Sabi ko, at least papel. I can't seem to trust the digital as much as I trust my passbook paper with my notes. It's so very old-fashioned, I know, but yeah, I have come to remain in the 80s.
That's why my advice is, especially if you have regular and big account, you should transact with banks that you know. Or the bank that you know the manager, know the officer, because if there's a problem, you can complain to them.
As well,
because going with the bank that, although not everyone will be able to do that, no? Because if but at the same time, when you build relationship with the bank, you have to remember also, if you trust the manager too much, there are also possible points of scam.
I see. But hopefully not. Because I have so many relatives in banking.
Pero kasi, di ba, yung may mga scam ka naririnig na yung manager, yung investment mo, biglang nawala. Siya rin nawala. Diba? So, you have to monitor all these things. You cannot trust people 100%.
Correct. So, I guess 2025, we just have to be more mindful of the possibilities And I guess share our experiences with people around us, just so we know what the current scams are. But it also brings about this culture of napapraning naman lahat. So a lot of people do like to share false narratives then of scams and things like that. And then it creates some kind of a panic then. I mean, conversely, like some people are overly careful. They no longer can function. And
Well,
they just get scared of the world. Parang ganon.
well, my advice to those people is don't be on social media. I mean, if you are the type who are paranoid,
And highly anxious.
yeah,
Mm-mm.
then you should limit your time in the social
Mm-mm.
media, right? Because you will even become more anxious and
Correct.
more
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
paranoid.
there's like being careful and being running. So it's hard to know which way to go.
I
But
guess the thing there is everything you do, you should double check.
yes.
Don't just
Mm-hmm.
trust. Right?
Yeah.
But if you double check once, then that's it. Don't double check. Obsessive compulsive na yun
Obsessively.
pag
Yeah.
you double check 10 times.
Mm-hmm.
Diba? Yun.
Yeah. So I guess it's just the dangers of the world we are living in now. From all your years, of course, of serving in the government and just basically being a woman of the Philippines, we would like to close the episode by just maybe you could share something that you've learned that you want to stress na people can remember. Like, because usually we would do one liners, but maybe you could share something that you just want to impart to our listeners.
Actually, for me, no, I think all of us should go back to imparting values
Mm.
to and going back finding our values in ourselves with in our family with our children. I think if you want social media is neutral. It's neither good neither bad.
Mm-hmm.
But if we don't have values that guide us to what is right and what is wrong, we can be easily swayed by what other people say. But if we have values within ourselves, then we will be able to discern
Mm-hmm.
what's right and what's wrong. Because now I think that's what we are all missing. Our value
Ah.
system are no longer there.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is relative. There's no
Mm.
more absolute right and wrong.
The
So
gray is getting bigger. The gray lines are not just lines. They're
yeah,
like
so
an area na
yeah,
talaga.
so that's why we're easily swayed. Diba?
Ah.
Because it really depends on feel good. So I feel good, so this must be good, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's and I think the where we are in the Philippines now is because we are missing that old Filipino values. There's a lot of Filipino values that are no longer being observed.
That makes sense, actually. But I like how you say start it with your family because then you could have a safe space to discuss, to teach, to learn,
Yeah.
as long as you don't become too defensive and shut out your family, because that is also a danger for some. When there are disagreements made, then people just say, I unfriend you or unfamily you. But I think if you create that safe space where the family shares the values, then it will be successful.
Yeah, but I think it would start very early in your family,
Correct.
right?
Yeah, yeah,
It
yeah.
doesn't,
I believe so.
you
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
do
yeah.
that when they're
Later on,
all
when
already.
they're in the
And
debating form na.
yeah.
But of course still able to think for themselves and discern. I mean, I'm a big believer of like having enough tools to be able to discern and have a strong mind that can yun nga, find out what the truths are, what is good, what is right.
No, because you can, if you have a strong sense of value, which is
Mhm.
absolute right and absolute wrong, good communication and dialogue with each
Mhm.
other.
Dialogue is important,
Yeah,
not the
because,
shutting down,
yeah,
shutting shut up, shut away. What do you
yeah,
call it? What is it? Like when you just shut them out. Sorry, shut away tuloy.
yeah.
When you
So,
shut out your family, yeah.
yeah, because when you establish this value, most of the time you're all in the same page. It's when
Right.
now your discussion are relating to things that are not covered by the right.
Right. But I guess siguro the value of respect needs to remain so that everyone can already explore their own thoughts as well.
Yeah, and the value of loving yourself.
Yes.
Because now everything values the people value themselves not because of themselves but
Mm-hmm.
because of what other people are doing
In
and
relation to yeah.
and being materialistic,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because other people have this
I
and
have
I
to match.
compare to them, I only have this, therefore I'm not valuable,
Oh.
right? So I mean,
Yeah, you have to have your self-respect and know your value, which goes back to my original topic na I am not pregnant and I have to just protect my peace and myself.
yeah, no, and I want to say, some people who might have asked you that and congratulated
Mm-hmm.
you might be just because they want to be happy for you.
Correct, which is harmless enough.
Yeah, but you have to look at it in the other side. There are some people who might want to have children and they could not, no matter how much they
Mm-hmm.
tried, they could not, and it's a problem for them.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a stress on them. Then you
Yes.
congratulated them, then you add
Mm-hmm.
stress to them. No?
Yeah.
Because some people, okay lang if some people decide they don't want to have children. Like me, I
Yes.
decided I don't want to have children.
I think the term now is child free instead of childless. One of the funny things that I did experience was the first person to congratulate me was my makeup artist. And I was like, well, number one, it says there that I announced it on my page. That was the copy
Yeah.
of the text. Karylle announced that she is pregnant. So that palang, you could just check my page to see if I announced it.
Yeah.
And he did not fact check that. And then it said, after 6 years of marriage, I was like, didn't you do my makeup at the wedding? That was 10 years na. We're 10 years married, not 6. So tawa kami ng tawa because we were together like the other week. So yeah, fact checking is important as well. There is this thing that you could do on Google, for example, where you put the photo and
It's called Google image
yeah, the
search.
Google image search, so that you could see what the photo is about.
Yeah.
What where it came from, the origin of it. So it's just funny because I do have one. I think my mom and I were doing a lot of videos at the time. Like anywhere we would go, we would take videos. And this particular video that they got for the pregnancy story was taken at the buffet. During the pandemic, where I think we all kind of gained some weight. So we were at the buffet.
Tagal mo naman nag-pregnant.
Diba? So,
Pandemic pa.
tsaka third na to. Sabi ko, ano ba? So, I knew that I had to talk about it in a bigger way because otherwise people will just keep repeating the same news over and over again. And can you imagine, this is number 3 already for me. So it's gotten to a point where I don't even understand how frustrating it is. But yeah, it's gotten out of hand, especially because I see their likes. Like na lang our podcast. This is the source. So I'm taking back my power and talking about it here on Case Drama. Thank you.
Good for you.
Thank you so much, Kim. I hope that you enjoyed your time here on Case Drama. Thank you for being the help that I needed.
I hope I did help you. But
Yeah,
I think we should pass new laws to deal with all these things.
yeah, because we do not want people to be
Helpless.
helpless. I mean, on my side, but for me, my worry is, where does this lead us? Where does this kind of thinking lead us? What will be the future of our society if we are so easily fooled by news items from sites that have funny names with funny profile photos that do not even look like a news site? There are so many signs. I mean, the grammar is wrong, the facts are wrong.
Yeah, but the problem there is those reading it might not even be aware that the grammar is wrong because there's a study that our grade 5 student doesn't even know how to read English.
I see.
It has a lot of systemic problem.
Yeah.
Because-
Sometimes it looks like also a Twitter or X quote. They make it appear like it's a screenshot or a screen grab. So there are a lot of ways that they are fooling people. So for me, let's all be mindful about the things we share, the things we believe, because we don't know where this would lead us.
Yeah. You might
Yes.
cause stress and you don't know the threshold of the mental
Yeah.
capacity. Diba? Some
Ako,
people,
it's not about that for me. It's just about what does this mean for our society in the long run. That's an endless list of what could we become. I mean, I would like to think that we are good thinking people. So in any aspect, may it be current affairs, celebrity news, and of course, politics. Because when it comes to those things, it could get dangerous if we don't know what is true and what is fake.
yeah,
So yeah, thank you so much, Kim.
you're welcome.
I hope you had fun here on Case Drama.